What a main event. By far, in my opinion, one of the best matches of the year, I gotta say. I felt we had a match of the year candidate in that main event. I don't think it is the match of the year, but it definitely is one of the best ones. I definitely feel. Whoo boy, what's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993. I'm coming at you my live review of NXT, the July 25th, 2018. That's right, July 25th. 2 years, well, 2 years ago tonight. Raw was in my hometown, Pittsburgh, PA. Unfortunately, again, I was not in attendance live at that show. However, though, that was a night where former NXT champion, an icon of NXT, Finn Balor, who was NXT champion for 292 days, got the rocket ship launch to the main event scene on Monday Night Raw when he won a fatal four-way, and he even defeated Roman Reigns clean in the main event. Raw live in Pittsburgh, so July 25th, 2016, again, in my hometown of Pittsburgh, PA, and 2 years later, he's hanging out in his own funhouse. But 2 years later on this night, we had another moment etched in history for NXT with that amazing main event match that we'll definitely talk about a little later on. Because other than that, this show, I feel like, this show definitely was not, well, take away from that main event, this show was all right. Wasn't one of the best NXT episodes I'd seen. That main event, though, really, bolstered up the grade even higher than I was leaning towards giving this episode of NXT, because everything else, well, it was just there. It felt like. It wasn't awful, but nothing really that special. So let's get right into it and talk about this week's episode, and before we get to that main event as well, because that main event was just, as Miz would say, awesome. But yes, we will talk about that main event. Dakota said, how was your NXT tonight? It was awesome. I knew who won last by accident. Yeah, because of the spoiler thing, but I didn't read it. But I was speculating it could have to do something. That's why I don't want to read the spoilers if I read. Here's the thing. Why would WWE even leak on the website that there was a title change at an event that we're going to be seeing taped a little bit later on? Why would they give it away? I don't understand why they do that. So that's why I didn't read the spoiler, but I didn't want to do that. He doesn't think Black should have lost this early because Almas had a longer reign. That is true. I definitely like to see Aleister Black having the longer reign, but of course I'll talk about it later on in the show, though. How I'm okay with this. So was NXT or SmackDown Live better? You see, again, NXT wasn't terrible. I mean, everything else wasn't terrible from NXT, but NXT still kind of felt like it was a little bit like a one-match show. I still would maybe give the edge a little bit to SmackDown Live, but NXT was definitely still awesome. He agrees that the spoiler thing is dumb. He thinks that Gargano is going to win it in Brooklyn. I'll talk about my prediction as well when we get there, but let's get started with the show. I'll talk about everything else first. So we had a video package to start off this episode of the NXT title feud build up to the match that had been 3 or 4 weeks in hype. And then we had Adam Cole taking on Sean Maluta, who was in the Cruiserweight Classic in a short match, pretty much. The Cruiserweight got in a couple of spots in the offense, but it didn't really, just do much good for him at all. He would then outsmart Maluta when he did a dive off the ropes and hit him with a super kick and hit the last shot to win the match for Adam Cole. Adam Cole, baby! Afterwards, he gets on the microphone and he says he's the most buzzworthy superstar on any brand. Take Maluta. He gave him an opportunity. So if there's anyone who'd like an opportunity, of course, and then out came Ricochet, who's had some recent beef with Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era. He says he owes Cole an apology. He didn't run from he was an apology. You did run from this fight, and even if you don't remember the name of the nobody he beat tonight, but since becoming champion, he stopped shocking the system and he became a coward. The one only wants to give Cole a change to prove him wrong, but putting the North American title on the line against him at Takeover Brooklyn 4. Cole says that Ricochet is right. He is great, and that's why he's not going to lower himself by having a match against him in Brooklyn. He goes to walk away, and Ricochet calls him a coward yet again. So Cole starts moving to the ring, and if he's about to get in, but then he backs away as Ricochet does another springboard power pose. And then he's backing away, looking like he's saying, I don't have to waste my time on you at all whatsoever. But all of a sudden, out came the NXT Tag Team Champions. The rest of Undisputed Era is Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. And as soon as he gets there, Cole's like, okay, you want to fight? Let's do it then, because he has his partners on his back. But then all of a sudden, War Raiders music hits, and they stroll up behind them. And then they move into the seating area so that way they can get out away from there. And then from behind the curtain shows up Mustache Mountain. They cheap shot Adam Cole and they start brawling with Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, but they make a break for it to get out of the way there. So it's obvious that Ricochet is going after the NXT North American Championship. Obviously, Mustache Mountain is still a rematch, but looks like War Raiders are starting to make their presence known for the tag title hunt, which I predicted in my predicted match card for Takeover Brooklyn 4. I predicted a rematch just between Undisputed Era and the Mustache Mountain, but I added in the stipulation an I Quit match because based off of what happened in the rematch recently that they had, what if they try to take advantage and make them actually say the words I quit instead of Mustache Mountain? And I think either way it's going to lead to, I think the reason why War Raiders, it could be made into a triple threat with War Raiders lurking around, but I'm starting to think maybe if War Raiders only lurking around just so they can get into talks, and there'll be Undisputed Era, British Strong Style, and like War Raiders and maybe Ricochet in the War Games match, Takeover War Games 2 in Los Angeles Survivor Series weekend. Again, could be what we're going for, but that's what I got out of that. We then have a contract signing segment with Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane signing a contract for the NXT Women's Championship match at Brooklyn. And then Baszler corrects Regal and saying it's a rematch because Shayna's already beaten Kairi since the Mae Young Classic. Kairi grabs the contract, signs it, and slides it back to Baszler saying, I know it, you know it. Shayna says Kairi is like everyone else in the division, scared and pretending, just like Dakota Kai and Candice LeRae do. And Sane again says, I know it, you know it, I can beat you. Shayna's had enough. She signs a contract and leaves. And Kairi tells Regal the same thing. I know it, you know it, I can beat her. And he looks like he kind of does believe her, but not completely, because Shayna was right saying that even though Kairi beat her in the Mae Young Classic, that Shayna a year ago is nothing like the Shayna she is right now, which is the truth. Can Kairi Sane overcome this Shayna Baszler? We'll see what happens at Takeover Brooklyn 4. We see Ciampa backstage getting ready, and then we see a flashback also to Velveteen Dream walking out on EC3 in London, and it led to EC3 eating a black mask from the champ, and EC3 is coming for Dream, but next week he's going to face Kona Reeves to send Velveteen Dream a message to him as well, to teach him a lesson. We also had that segment recently with Kona Reeves and EC3, which now it seems like, even though EC3 wasn't felt an official heel, it's like he is more confirmed to being a babyface now in NXT, which I'm cool with. We can see what happens with that. Let's check the live chat really fast here. We should go to SummerSlam and start a chant in the match between Roman and Brock and chant, we want Lashley, we want Lashley. Be nice. Do you agree Ricochet will beat Adam Cole at TakeOver Brooklyn? I think he will. EC3 face Kona Reeves. No, he's doing that next week. We know he will win. EC3 will beat Kona Reeves. Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm not the bigger fan of Kona Reeves, honestly. I don't know. I just don't see him getting too far. EC3 can cut a promo also. Yes, he definitely can. All right. So then we had Lacey Evans taking on Tanilla Price. Tanilla Price, wouldn't I? Never saw her before. Seemed kind of cute. Lacey Evans, though. Now, I will admit, something is still missing from Lacey Evans for me to really, really get behind her, as I keep mentioning. Like, I don't hate Lacey Evans, but just something missing. I feel like, she just takes it too easy in her match or something. Yes, she's supposed to come across as like this, like, woman who thinks that she knows everything, and she's trying to make everybody else look like a joke. But then again, she's lost how many of those matches? She's lost the amount of those matches. So I feel like, I like the aggressive, the aggressive approach she had in her match with Kairi Sane. The second match they had in their feud, they had the same thing kind of happened here. Like, she just took it a little bit easy and just like walk through the match or whatnot. But I'm sorry. That outfit that Lacey was wearing tonight, here's all I gotta say. Damn! Boy, did she look good in that outfit tonight. But wrestling-wise, still not completely impressed with Lacey Evans, but boy, she caught my eye tonight, I shall say. And that Tanilla, what's her name again? Tanilla Price. She's pretty cute also, I'll give her that. But yeah, she beat Price with the women's right. And then we have Bianca Belair being interviewed backstage about being injured and missing the One Contenders match last week. And Bianca says that she doesn't have to explain herself to anyone because she's undefeated. And when she's healthy, she'll be back to get what's hers because she's undefeated, which I do definitely agree. I feel like it is time definitely Bianca Belair gets into the title picture because she is, after all, undefeated. Then we see Shayna Baszler walking backstage, coming out from her contract signing, telling an interviewer she's not worried about Kairi Sane. Then Candice LeRae runs up, and she was ticked off her for what she said about her being, should be like a house mom and whatnot. Everybody's just like, picks on Candice LeRae, what's going on with, her, and what's going on with Johnny Gargano also. The champ dares her to slap her again. Someone pulls Candice back. She promises to find time to get Shayna Baszler. So I don't know if we're still going, if Candice is going to somehow get into the match at Brooklyn, or if we're just going to have a match between Candice LeRae and Shayna Baszler on NXT in the upcoming weeks. Let's wait and see. We'll see what happens there. And finally, we got our main event. Aleister Black versus Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. You see, here's the thing. I'll be honest and say this. One thing about Tommaso Ciampa that really showed me in this match. Yes, he has a dangerous side physically. But what makes Ciampa such a great heel, I didn't mention this. I probably may have mentioned this, in my video I made of why I feel Tommaso Ciampa is the best heel in the company right now. It's because he has a game plan, he sticks to it, and he succeeds. And it's not because of, the physical. It's the mind games. And this match, it literally felt like, Aleister Black truly was playing with the devil, and, trying to overcome Tommaso Ciampa's game of all the mind games. And Aleister Black has mind games of his own, but he has a little bit more of a physical side to him. He's a little more known the physical side with his vicious kicks and whatnot on Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa, don't get me wrong, has some vicious moves himself. However, though, the mental aspect of Tommaso Ciampa is what's best known for him. And I felt like that was brought out even more in this match, showing that, yes, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano went to war with each other, they know each other that well. But this is Tommaso Ciampa taking on somebody else who, has a higher level of mind games and, on his own, and a high profile strikes and kicks. And it just told the story in the match where it looked like that Ciampa was having a hard time overcoming Aleister Black's game. And when he tried to play Aleister Black's game, Aleister Black was overcoming him on that state of mind also. Of course, even, Tommaso Ciampa towards the end started reverting to some desperate tactics of his own game. When the referee wasn't looking, he pulled out a crutch and struck a Black with it. He hit him with that vicious DDT, the same DDT he hit on Johnny Gargano. What was by the fact that the floor of the floor was exposed in the ring. This time it was not, but he still hit that. But it was not enough for Aleister Black. There's a couple other vicious knee strikes that a Black got on Tommaso Ciampa. It still was not enough to take out Ciampa. Then Ciampa, towards the end of the match, rips apart, the the floor outside the ring to expose the concrete, thinking that he was going to eventually get Aleister Black to get a DDT on Aleister Black on there. Unfortunately, it was neither one of them. It was the referee who took the bump on the concrete. And Aleister Black, shortly after that, hit Ciampa with the black mask. But unfortunately, the referee was not in the ring. And again, a couple more times, though, like they're firing their best shots, and it was not enough. And it got to the point where Tommaso Ciampa was realizing that, he was unable to play Aleister Black's game. However, though, one thing, though, that Tommaso Ciampa does have lurking around, of course, is Johnny Gargano himself. And he knows Johnny's vulnerability is very vulnerable right now, and that is what's causing him to get to where he needs to be pretty much and to fulfill his game plan pretty much. And with how he's really got to Johnny's head now, it's played effect here again. Ciampa grabbed the which also I forgot to mention. Also, Ciampa also did the whole thing with DIY to get ready for that. That double kick to the head that they used to do, but he did it set for like a running knee thing. But towards the end of the match, Ciampa goes to grab the NXT Championship. He's going to get into the ring and attack Aleister with it since the referee was not looking. Johnny Gargano came in from the crowd, super kicked him, and he's about to hit him with the championship belt. And unfortunately, someone gets in there trying to get Gargano out of there. Well, it was supposed to be Aleister Black was getting in there trying to get Johnny out of there, but Johnny thought it was like security trying to get out there to get his hands on Gargano, because Gargano, of course, just wants to get his hands on Ciampa and just rip him to shreds, because this rivalry would take to a whole another level. Unfortunately, though, Ciampa throws the belt back, and who was behind, which is Aleister Black, knocks out Aleister Black. Ciampa gets Gargano out of the ring, takes advantage, hits his finisher, and through the shocker, Tommaso Ciampa is NXT champion. Aleister Black's reign is already done. Yes, I do agree with Dakota. I would have hoped to have seen Aleister Black have a longer reign again. Almas's reign was good. It was a little bit longer, of course, but I definitely would have liked to see Aleister Black have a longer reign. However, though, I do agree that the iron is really hot for Tommaso Ciampa. And to really, extend the stakes higher in this feud with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, we're going to be getting one more match between them at some point. It could be a TakeOver War Games, Hell in a Cell. It could be somewhere sooner than that. Or it could be an I Quit match also, as, Dakota's, suggested before. So I think, it's okay for this to happen. I feel, Aleister Black was already very well established. Like, he felt like, yes, he deserved to be champion, but some ways felt like he didn't need to have like a long championship run to fully establish himself. I think, by either after SummerSlam or even after Survivor Series, somewhere between there, Aleister Black, I think, will be up on the main roster, I feel. And of course, a good opponent, I think, for him to feud with is on SmackDown Live and feud with Randy Orton right now. With his newly renewed heel character, I think him and Aleister could put on a great feud. But yeah, Tommaso Ciampa is champion. Looks like we're probably going to get in the triple threat match at TakeOver Brooklyn 4. Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and Aleister Black for the NXT Championship. And like Dakota mentioned earlier, and I do kind of agree also, I think Johnny Gargano will become NXT champion, but he will pin Aleister Black. And it will set up the third and final match between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa at TakeOver War Games. What's the stipulation going to be? I'm not sure, because honestly, after these two feud, where do we go from there? Is the loser just going to go up to the main roster? How it would look weird. Of course, so here's the thing also, especially after seeing this match, WWE, Vince McMahon, Road Dogg, anyone, please, at this point, do not put Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano on 205 Live. Yes, I know 205 Live's gotten better, but they are so much more than that. Honestly, I feel that they should both just go to separate brands when they first go to the main roster. I feel like that's the best route to go. Keep them separate from each other. Yes, maybe come like full circle somewhere, like in the Royal Rumble, or even Survivor Series or something like that. These two are just that great. They're too good for the cruiserweight division. The story between these two has been the best thing going in the company all year, I feel. But yes, it was an awesome main event. Tommaso Ciampa is your new NXT champion. Let's check the live chat. Let's see here. Are they building Kona? Not sure. He likes Reed's finisher. The face buster Samoan drop like thing. Evans' finisher is dumb. It's a freaking forearm. Yeah, I know. It just kind of looks weak. Styles' forearm is a springboard forearm, so that's more power behind it. It is awesome. He's catches Ono's facing another job next week. Are you going to wait till next week to see if Ono is a heel for a fact or what? I'm still waiting. Yeah, I'm not sure if Ono is a heel for sure yet or not. What about the Roman figure on the poster? He would have Roman show up wearing a blonde wig because that's his humor. We will know if Roman is in the women's pay-per-view. We see someone hot in a spear and win. Oh, goodness. But we still do have the female Roman, Alexa Bliss. I know. I don't hate Alexa Bliss. Did you see the pick I sent you? Combine the Raw and SmackDown women's titles since the draft in 2016. Alexa has been champion 200 days longer than Charlotte. And Charlotte was second. Alexa's been champ for 486 days. Wow. Yeah, Bobby Roode had a long reign. Also, it'll be at Brooklyn with Black, a triple threat. I heard Black is going to SmackDown Live after Brooklyn to be a top babyface because they only have Jeff, Bryan, and Styles as top babyfaces, and the heels are Miz, Almost Joe, Orton. So they need another face because they think Rusev is a tweener, which I do agree. Rusev could be a tweener, but I think he should be a babyface. But that would be a good move for SmackDown Live, getting Aleister Black as a top babyface. And again, I still say feud with Randy Orton. That's why I think the right route is to go. But yes, that is it. Again, this episode of NXT wasn't bad. We just had Adam Cole facing a jobber. Good promo with him and Ricochet. Lacey Evans and Tanilla Price was what it was. Contract signing was good. The main event was awesome. So I'll give this episode a B+. A strong B+ for NXT this week. What grade would you give NXT? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And as always, for a click, buy, like, and subscribe for more content on this channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBrownie3. Probably a few odds and ends may get uploaded over the next 24 hours. Tomorrow night, though, probably around 9 o'clock, because I do have a phone meeting tomorrow with a client at 8. I'll be doing my special live stream of the week, which I'm not completely sure what I'm going to do. I have a couple topics in mind for my suggestions, but I will decide definitely and present it to you sometime around 9 o'clock tomorrow night, Eastern Standard Time. And then after that, I'm going camping this weekend. So, guys, that is it. I am checking out. Thanks again to Dakota for joining in for my live review of not 205 Live. Wow. Of NXT. So, until then, guys, I am checking out. I'll see you guys all there. Have a great night, and peace out, everybody.